It started with a whisper in the paddock, the idea that Oscar Piastri's recent dip isn't about speed, but psychology. Jacques Villeneuve thinks the young Aussie has already reached his limit, and McLaren knows it. If you love F1 without the noise, hit subscribe and let's get into it. Over the first half of the season, Piastri stunned the grid. 5 wins in 8 races, a calm rival to Lando Norris. But in Mexico, that calm cracked. Norris won, Piastri finished 5th, and suddenly the gap between teammates felt larger than the points suggested. Villeneuve's theory is sharp. When you're already on the edge and your teammate finds another gear, you start to break yourself chasing ghosts. Inside McLaren, whispers say the team's balance, even its updates, now leans slightly toward Norris, the man leading the title charge. Piastri insists the cars are identical, but when the data says you're slower in one corner, doubt can be louder than any engine. From China to Mexico, Piastri's curve tells a quiet story. 5 wins in the first 8 races, an extraordinary burst that placed him 1 point behind Norris after round 19. But the numbers since Singapore hint at a stall. 4th, then 5th, then 5th again. No podiums, no spark. McLaren's engineers call it data drift. The car's behavior hasn't changed, yet the lap deltas have. Norris has gained roughly 0.2 on average over the past 3 race weekends, mostly in mid-corner rotation, the kind of margin that feels invisible until Sunday. Villeneuve's argument finds proof here. If Piastri was already extracting everything early in the year, there's no performance left to uncover when the car stops improving. And with McLaren freezing development for 2025, Norris's adaptability becomes a weapon. What looks like a slump might just be the limit finally showing its edges, and Villeneuve believes McLaren quietly knows it. No team admits to favoritism, but inside McLaren, patterns are hard to ignore. Since Baku, Norris has been first in the garage rotation, first to receive the new setups, and first to call strategy changes when the weather shifts. Officially, it's procedural. Unofficially, it's hierarchy. Engineers close to the team insist there's no special treatment. The cars are built to the same spec, the data shared equally. Yet drivers feel nuances the numbers can't show. A quicker radio response, a slightly bolder pit call. Moments that tell a young driver where the wind is blowing. And now, as Norris chases the title lead, McLaren's priorities are clear. Consolidate points, secure momentum, and protect the driver who can still win it all. For Piastri, that means fighting not just the stopwatch, but a team quietly shifting its center of gravity. Because in Formula One, equality ends where championship math begins. Pressure doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers through the headset. Jacques Villeneuve's warning, that's when it goes wrong, hits differently when you're 24 inside a car that once felt like an extension of yourself. Piastri is discovering how small the margins really are. When Norris found rhythm again, Piastri didn't just lose tenths, he lost certainty. Every data trace, every overlay comparing throttle and steering became a reminder that perfection is slipping away. Brundle once said the same happens to every great driver. You start chasing ghosts that aren't there. Villeneuve believes Piastri has reached the stage where self-doubt replaces feedback. The car hasn't changed, but his mind has. A micro-hesitation in braking, a lift a fraction too early, and the lap is gone. For a rookie year, that would be natural, but this is year 2. The year when potential must become permanence. And right now, that confidence is cracking under papaya paint. Strip away the noise, and the story sits in the lap times. Over the last 3 weekends, Norris has averaged 0.21 seconds faster per lap in race trim and 0.18 in qualifying. Those aren't gaps you feel on TV, but in a sport of milliseconds, they're chasms. McLaren froze major upgrades after Singapore to redirect focus toward 2025. In theory, that keeps both cars equal. In practice, it froze momentum, the same momentum Piastri once thrived on. Without new parts to chase balance, Norris adapted quicker. He's braking later, rotating sharper mid-corner, and managing tires with the calm of a driver who trusts his setup. Piastri, meanwhile, keeps chasing a car that no longer moves under him. It's not a meltdown, it's a mismatch of timing. one driver peaking as the other plateaus. And when development stops, natural evolution decides who leads the team. In Britain, the story writes itself. Lando Norris, the local hero, finally leading McLaren's charge after years in Verstappen's shadow. For the UK media, Piastri's form dip is just part of the learning curve, another promising talent humbled by pressure. The headlines praise Norris's maturity, not McLaren's politics. But in Australia, the tone is sharper. Commentators question whether the team's equal treatment truly exists when every major upgrade seems to land first on the Brit side of the garage. Fans call it the papaya bias, a quiet sense that McLaren's long-term heart still beats in Woking, not Melbourne. The truth probably lives somewhere between the two. McLaren's leadership insists both drivers are vital for 2025, but perception is its own fuel. In the UK, Norris is celebrated. In Australia, Piastri is defended. And somewhere in the middle, team harmony is slipping into narrative warfare. Because in Formula One, even media bias can shift a car's balance. Every internal storm leaves a mark on the scoreboard. McLaren's title fight looked alive after Shanghai, 1-2 finishes, a margin to Ferrari, and whispers of challenging Red Bull. Now, with the tension between its drivers simmering, that unity is fracturing, just when precision matters most. Norris leads Piastri by a single point, but those points mean everything. If McLaren tilts its strategy even slightly toward one garage, it risks losing double podiums, the kind of results that decide constructors' bonuses and boardroom smiles. The numbers tighten with every weekend. Verstappen's back in rhythm, Ferrari within reach, and Aston Martin stealing scraps. A single pit call, a mistimed undercut, could swing millions in prize money. Inside the papaya camp, calm voices insist it's fine. But under pressure, fine isn't enough. The margin between teamwork and turmoil is now just one radio message away. For all the telemetry and strategy meetings, Formula One still comes down to faith. The faith between a driver and his team. Right now, Oscar Piastri is learning what happens when that faith starts to flicker. He's not broken, just bruised by expectation. Villeneuve's words echo louder each weekend. When you drive within the limit, the car feels perfect. Go 0.2 faster, and suddenly, everything's wrong. That's where he stands, one of the fastest rookies in decades, now staring at a mirror that reflects doubt as clearly as talent. McLaren insists both men are equal, but titles aren't won in statements. They're won in trust, timing, and the tiny choices made under orange floodlights. Because if Norris is already the chosen one, then Piastri's real battle isn't on the track. It's about proving he still belongs in McLaren's future.